Hi everyone, welcome to Discovery session with 1Cloudstar via Microsoft Teams on business continuity webinars. I think some of the members actually have a difficulty to join in right now, but no worry, we actually will send the recording session after this webinar itself. First of all, we would like to thank for your interest in attending this event, which is actually initially planned to be held at Microsoft Malaysia. However, due to the worsening of COVID-19 outbreak and the lockdown of the country, the on-site cloud days at the Microsoft Malaysia will be postponed to a later date instead. But due to the huge request from the sign-up attendees, we replaced these long-awaited cloud days to a webinars. Our team will be contacting you personally to ensure everything that you need to know will be clarified. Today we have our VIP guest speaker, which is Ms. Cassandra from Microsoft Malaysia to share with us on modern workspace. Z, Ms. Ruzaini Losri, she is the head of learning and development at True Education International. And for True Education International is also a HRDF training provider. Myself, Rachel, who are the representative of 1Cloudstar, I'm handling the sales and operation for ASEAN country. Ms. Vivian from Right Malaysia, and she will be also conducting the short demo of using Microsoft Teams, the platform that we are currently using right now. Since the RMO is going on, and 1Cloudstar and Malaysia, Microsoft are happy to share with all of you today some insight on how you could manage your business during this global crisis by having an efficient business continuity plans that protect your business and ensure your business operation are able to function productively. So spare with us for 1 hour. Let's go through this together. At the end of the session itself, feel free to contact us. We will be giving out some free trial license for our selected customer to try out our solution. We are here to assist you during and after the lockdown. And it's very sadly that our PM just announced the lockdown is going to extend for another 14 days, which is till 14 April 2020. With so much complexity in today's computing environments, it's fair to say that we have entered a new era. However, it is likely for your business continuity plans were put in place during a time when the path to BCDR was much clearer and simple. That put you in danger, because if you're still using an old model that assigns a flat dollar value for recovery, you may setting up yourself up for a failure. This question can be help you quickly to identify if your business is at the risk. Before this webinar is out, right, we also hear some feedbacks from the attendees says that they can't join this webinar because they just heard about the announcements and then they need to actually discuss with their bosses right now how to actually move forward for the next 14 days. Ask yourself these 7 quick questions. But for now, right, kindly focus on the point number 3. More than half of all business doesn't have a DR or BCP plans in place. And those that do, less than 15% have confidence in recovery. Since last week, our PM announced the lockdown of the country. All business owner or IT key personnel were in panic mode. But for those who are well prepared or those whose workload is already on the cloud, they will be at the peace. Especially some of the customer itself, right? Their email is still on-prem. They are not on Microsoft 365 yet. So they might have this kind of issues. For this slide itself, right, point number 6, when we are forced to work from home like currently, and this allowed to go back to our office, how about our servers room or IT system that are back in our office? Could there be any power outage that take your compliance mandates to the dark side? These are really the valid question to ask yourself. Assuming right now, our IT system, everything is actually back in the server room, but we can't really ensure that the power supply is still ongoing. So what if we need to actually access back to the office, but there's no power supply? So we can't even access in. We just don't know how long this lockdown is going to last, but we need to be well prepared for what's coming. Let me do a brief introduction of 1Cloudstar and how 1Cloudstar and Microsoft is able to assist you during and after this lockdown. After my session itself, right, will be actually handled by Z from True Education, and also will be briefed by Microsoft, Ms. Cassandra also. In a world global business right now, distributed workforce and complex complex supply chain, a company ability to respond to disruption is a competitive advantage. Just want to show a short 1-minute video on how my staff working from home, and we should really take this opportunity to thank all of the frontliner healthcare workers who have shouldered the responsibility during this lockdown. Let us do our part and stay at home right now and stay connected. So as I mentioned just now, how we 1Cloudstar and Microsoft are able to actually help during this MOC period, right? And it's just a brief introduction about 1Cloudstar. We is very focused and specialized in providing full spectrum cloud consultancy, migration, infrastructure setup, managed services, and connectivity for all companies of all size and industry. So one of our core product itself is actually a connectivity. For today's session, I don't want to go in depth, but we were actually personally in touch with you to really understand if you really have any inquiry. We have been offering these services since 2013 till now. I myself is also a solution architect for almost few major public cloud provider, such as Azure, AWS, and exactly. Because some of our customers deployed multi-cloud strategy in their environment, and we really have accumulated a very deep level of real life experience, track records, and the skill set and knowledge to build and operate the cloud infrastructure. Our HQ is actually based in Singapore, and now we have more than 8 present in ASEAN. We do have our own POP in this country. In Singapore itself, we do have 7 POP, and in Malaysia, we do have 3, where it will be Menara AIM Cyberjaya, and NTT Cyberjaya. So long as actually maybe you have other branches in those countries, and we were able to actually link you out with those branches, and maybe for those clients actually work from home, they want to access back to their servers, right? We definitely able to help you in this part. These are some of our current customers who are using our cloud services for reference. We will also ensure that every vertical, every industry, we have some big slogan right there, be it government link, e-commerce, bank, airline operator, telco, education firm, etc. Equinix is an international data center provider. We 1Cloudstar is also honored to receive our award from them. We are one of their outstanding partners. This information can be easily found on internet. Our office in SE in China. Our Singapore HQ. This is our KL office back in Malaysia. In KL, we also have another training academy, which is to cater small and large group. The hall, which can actually cater up to 200 pack at once. So far, we can say that we are the only cloud solution provider has a training arm in our own umbrella, because we really seize the gap. A lot of people, they want to go to cloud, but they doesn't know how to go to cloud. Or maybe in this kind of disaster, right, current disasters right now, they wanted to move, they wanted to really work from home, but they can't. So who would be the right person to actually advise them? It will be a cloud advisory. And maybe after the lockdown itself, you want to actually send your staff for related IT trainings, right? I will get one of my heads division to actually assist you on this part. These are our comrades in SE and China. We used to conduct our monthly event like coffee talk, but not pillar talks. So maybe after the lockdown and when things slightly better, right, I will personally invite you to our lounge again. Every week itself, we will share some of the like maybe the different topic. It could be a cybersecurity, it could be O365, it could be anything. Maybe just a cloud migrations. Beside that, it's also our honor to be interviewed by a press media last year, 2019 in April. Malaysia is among the country forging ahead with the Industry 4.0. One of the core technology of Industry 4.0 is actually AI, artificial intelligence. Through AI, a system is created to learn from its surrounding and use the data to connect human, physical tools, and digital world. I was invited by PSTC, Penang Skill Development Center, and as one and only lady speaker for this event. My beloved partner PSTC, they are also currently listening to this webinar right now. Thank you, PSTC. I know you're in there. It was my pleasure to share my knowledge and experience with those big MNC and SME clients in the Northern region. It was also a 2-day paid event. Senior management such as the C and the D level are invited to be at the event of learning and understanding the importances of our IR 4.0 and cloud transformation. Picture of us during the event back in 2018. So on the high levels, right, these are the 6 pillars of 1Cloudstar services. We do have a cloud connectivity. Cloud defense is more on the first thing that people think when I put my email on the cloud, when I put my workload on the cloud itself, how secure is that? This will be fall under the cloud defense. After you put the things on the cloud itself, the third thing you're going to think is, can I have another backup? I have one customer actually back in Singapore itself. They deployed multi-cloud plus actually they have another copy still on-prem. So we're able to actually design this part because we are the advisory arm. We can advise you, we design for you, we implement for you, and we manage for you. So hence it's actually with the CloudTrack. CloudTrack is our managed services. And some of the manufacturing company is right, they are really very advanced. So they are thinking of how actually AI can actually help in their industry. Cloud training academy, that part I will not touch right now because my colleague will actually talk in detail for this. We 1Cloudstar are able to actually build a dedicated highway for you or your company. Because like I said, you try to imagine right now when your email is actually on the cloud, when your workload is actually on the cloud itself, you will think already, how I'm going to access? Maybe right now you're using YouTube, it's also so lag already, but how are you going to ensure that my connectivity back to my workload on the cloud will be secure, safe, fast? So all this actually we have managed to address one by one. I used to joke with one of my IT intern. His name is actually Shiro. His house is actually based in Cheras. I asked him if I build a dedicated highway for him from Cheras to office, which is actually near IKEA Mutiara Damansara, will he actually happy or not? Because actually he can drive this car at his own pace and not shared by anyone. How fast, how slow, whatever, he actually at his own pace. So for Microsoft itself, right, there's one services called Express Route. So we are able to actually build this kind of structure for you. Assuming this is on the left-hand side, DC, data center, office. Your current system, because a lot of times, right, they'll say, I got some critical information I want to put on-prem. I cannot put on cloud. Can be able to do so for you. At the same time, there are certain non-critical ones, they also still can put on the cloud, but they want to sync, which is this called hybrid platform. So here is the DC. We will manage from one end to another end for you. From the hardware, co-location, last mile to Azure directly. And we are not outsourced to any party. It's still managed by 1Cloudstar because we also see the problem. If you outsource to people itself, right, there'll be a multiple point of failure, and we tend to have a finger point in the later part. So with this part, we are still proud that we are the 1 or 2 in the current market. We are talking about 8 countries in the market who are able to provide this sort of solution. And we are thinking about we are talking about the latency less than 10 milliseconds. We do have a banking with us, where I'm talking about Malaysia Bank. We do have an insurance company with us as well. Rest ensures that when you put thing on the cloud, some people will say that I can't touch the thing, but how I'm going to manage? So here come our cloud track. It's considered a 1Cloudstar managed services. We'll be 24/7 real-time monitoring and support services. There are 2 types of services. Some people say that no worry, my business operation is just need 8x5. Fine, we were able to give you 8x5. We custom the services for you. There are some are very, very critical. We are talking about e-commerce. They will need 24/7 support. We are currently a one-stop solution provider. So provide either is 8x5 or 24/7 support. We also will actually have the real-time monitoring. I have a 3 big team, 1 in Singapore, 1 in Malaysia, and 1 in Vietnam. They are really literally 24/7 looking on the screens right now. We do have some automated system to take care of my clients' businesses. So let's stay positive because storm don't last forever. Now I hand over to my next speaker, Z from True Education International. True Education International is an authorized HRDI training provider and also the one-stop solution for all training needs, be it IT related or non-IT related. Z, I hand over to you right now.
All right, thank you very much, Rachel. Let me share my screen. All right, so thank you very much, Rachel, again. So Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Z from True Education, a division of 1Cloudstar in Malaysia. So basically heading the education arm of 1Cloudstar. So the reason why I am actually here in this particular session itself is actually to emphasize on how using 1Cloudstar to assist with your cloud journey. So it's going to be a 360 journey full of our support. So by support, we mean that you will not be left unattended, and our technical team is actually here to support you throughout the journey. And my division role here is actually to also equip you with the right trainings needed, be it for cloud and also other areas for you and your team and your organization as well. So for True Education itself, we are a registered HRDF training provider. So for organizations who are contributors, you can actually utilize your fund here. We have almost all programs, so be it technical or soft skills, but of course we have some areas that we actually focus on, which what I'm actually going to briefly tell you later, right? So right here is actually our academy. So we are very much expanding, and this particular area is still under renovation. And of course, you're welcome to drop by anytime, and then we'll treat you to good coffee. Okay, so this one right here is actually one of our initiatives to give back to the society. We try to reach out to the less fortunate people out there. You know, the orphanage and then all those special kids. 5% from our total sales is actually dedicated for this initiative. So we really go all hardcore on this, and then we welcome partners also, and also corporate to actually join us hand in hand, and also because there's just so much things that we can still do together. So these are basically our programs. We focus on development programs. In terms of development programs, we have IT, we have personal development, talent, and also career development program. So these are holistic development programs, as we actually believe that, you know, one-off sessions won't work. So we believe in giving 360 pretty much you know, a holistic approach for the development of your staff and also yourself. All right, So these are actually our flagship. So on entrepreneurship development program itself right here, basically we are collaborating with local and also private universities to provide entrepreneurship development programs for our future country leaders and also players. So we also have in the pipeline early childhood education center. So this is where we are going to actually start developing children as young as 10, through our development classes as well. All right, next is actually the programs that we actually have. So this is more on development programs. It's a 360 learning approach that we seriously believe in. Okay, so let's say you yourself or you have a staff that you want to actually send to these development programs, be it technical, be it soft skills. We have inshallah we actually have all the programs for you. Okay, so in terms of development programs, we have career, we have leadership development programs, we have onboarding, and also for management trainees as well. In terms of our upcoming programs, so basically for technical, we have all this cloud computing, cloud practitioner, and also certification programs planned throughout the year. So you can actually reach out to us and then we can furnish you with all the details. And then we also have on-site cloud adoption programs, 5G and AI, and also the whole cloud learning path. So anything that you need to know, we can advise you and we can actually train you as well for you and also your staff, your team. So not only for technical programs, for soft skill programs, we have assessment centers. We're very, very strong in assessment centers and the tools that we use. We have certified leadership programs, sales mastery and negotiation, very, very strong speakers and also motivator to actually assist us on motivational and also goal settings, KPI and performance management, and also development programs. Okay, so right now for you guys out there who are actually joining, okay, we would like to extend this complimentary consultation hour. It is actually valued up to 2,800 for any cloud department. So what you need to do is just to reach out to us and then we will actually furnish you with all the details on how you can actually redeem this and also, and other things as well, and also how to schedule for the complimentary consultation hour. We are also giving some free Office 365 licenses to our selected customers. So all you need to do is PM us, okay? And then for this one is also extended to you guys out there. There's this further discounts on all our training programs, 70% discount, up to 70% discount on IT, technical, and also cloud computing program, which is normally we are charging about 1,800 per pax for 2 days program. Okay, and then also 30 to 50% discount for non-IT related programs. So this can be soft skill and also other development programs. So we will actually send everyone here the tickets. So and then you can actually look at the terms and conditions as well. All the bookings must be made by when and all this. Okay. So I think that is pretty much my session. So if let's say you have anything to ask, do not ask anonymously, so that just put down your name and also your contact number so that we can actually reach out to you after this. Okay, and then in terms of if let's say you need consultation and also how to claim your vouchers and all, Rachel and also myself, Z, can be actually reachable through this number. Okay. And then you can also join our WhatsApp group if let's say you are not already in that. I think that's about my part. So I am going to pass you to Cassandra, Miss Cassandra Sang. She is actually the business group lead for Modern Workspace from Microsoft Malaysia. So basically, she'll be sharing on how Microsoft can actually further support us during this very, very challenging time. Over to you, Cassandra.
Thanks, Z.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, thanks for joining the session. Right. Let me just quickly share my my deck here so that you guys can see. Right. So I think basically just want to thank Rachel and the team, right, for inviting me, right, to share what we have learned so far and how as Microsoft, what's our commitment to customers out there during this difficult time, right, and what we have learned so far from our teammates or colleagues from China, from even in US as well. So I think I'll just walk through some of the points that we have prepared here, right, to share with you guys. Right, so basically, this is our mission, right? Not sure how many of you guys know or heard about this, but I just want to initiate or share with you, right? This is our mission, right? We are here to empower every persons and organizations on the planet to achieve more, right? If you guys are not using, maybe reach out to the team, Rachel, and to see how you can quickly get onboarded, right? And how they can assist you further, right? So this is one of the posts that our CEO Satya, right, have shared with us actually 2 days ago, right? So what happened was he actually feel very sad, right? He was empathy. And he wrote a note to all of us and say, hey guys, you know, in this situation, right? There's no solution to this. I think everyone is having a challenging time trying to solve a world problem, right? And there's no unique company who can just come and solve this challenge alone, right? I think it's more like a teamwork. So what he has shared with us, right? It's, hey, what is our approach to our customers and partners out there, right? So what is so unique about Microsoft here is that it's our role, right, as a platform and tool provider company, a software company, right? How do we allow people to actually connect the dots and bring together the ecosystems of our partners, some solutions from our partner, right? How they can quickly leverage on this with the help of the partner to actually bring businesses back and you know where things is more stable, right? How do we help to actually continue this BCP plan, right? Especially during this lockdown period or MCO period, right? These are some of the challenges that he have seen, right? And also, I'm not sure how many of you have seen this, but this is actually a public blog that our M365 or Microsoft 365 CVP from Corp have shared this across, right? So basically, this is just to share with the customer, right? If today you are not using Microsoft O365 or Teams, right, and you are looking for some platforms or solutions and tools to quickly help you with the BCP plan, right? So do reach out to 1Cloudstar, Rachel and the team again, right, to see how do they quickly get you guys onboarded. So basically what we are saying here is we're making teams available to all individuals and education and even businesses, organization out there, right? So reach out to them and see how do you quickly sign up for this program. So it's a 6 months of offer that we have to the customer. Right, this is just some sharing. It's also available publicly as well if you want to know more. Basically, this is what I have here as a summary, right? One of our colleagues, Lily, right, she's actually based in Shanghai, right? So what happened was, I think we all know that they got impacted very, very early since January, right? So this is what they have learned so far, right? Working remotely during this challenging time, it's not only impacting life, right? It also means like travel restrictions and new rules and policy. People can't travel, you know, can't meet each other, can't have face-to-face conversation, collaboration, right? So to them, what happened was it started in January, right? So they will quickly get into a team, right? Helping customers, helping partners to quickly get onboarded. Hey, how do we help you with the BCP now that the whole country is locked down? So this is what she have shared with customers and even publicly, right? Lesson learned so far, right? I think now that we are in about 1 week plus, we sort of know how the feeling like, right? So I think stay well is very important because I think we all need to stay healthy to take care of ourselves, our family, before we can support our partners and customers, right? So in order for us to support our customers and partners out there, we need to make sure ourselves, we need to stay healthy, right? And I think not sure how many of you, but some of us will tend to be a bit lazy or get distracted. So, but what she has shared here is, hey, don't care, just go all in, right? Support all the way, right? Be it customer, be it partner, be it your colleague, right? And I think having a very close ecosystem with your teammates help, right? Feel free to have regular sessions with your colleagues now that we know that, hey, we don't have the walking down corridor days, or we don't have that opportunity to actually sit next to each other, gossip, discuss, chat, right? So I think having one-to-one discussion or having like a quick tea break session with them, it will help, right? Also lesson learned from some of the customers out there, right? So what happened was immediately it opens line of communication to them, because previously we all can meet and discuss face to face. Now that when we are all locked down, right, the only thing we can depend on, right, is basically tools that we have, right? Depends. I think some of us is using WhatsApp, using different tools, right? So, but basically, what we are saying here is we're offering some solution here for you guys to quickly get yourself onboarded, right? And keep it moving. I think it's also very important that we need to stay focused. Don't get distracted easily, right? Even big meetings can be moved online. I'm not sure how many of you have experienced this, but a lot of our customers right now, instead of having a face-to-face town hall, what happened is they're moving things to online, right? Moving things to Teams, to live events, right? This is how they stay connected, especially, you know, when you have management team, top management team to share updates and, you know, some words from them. And I think that's crucial. Right, and then this is some learnings, right, from our colleagues in US or other region as well, right? So it has been 2 weeks for them, right? 1 week plus for us, but I think the experience is quite similar, right? This is some of the points that they have made available and share publicly to customers out there as well, right? So we're saying, hey, these are some of the things that we have learned working remotely, right? Some of the things that we are sharing here is, hey, we are sharing some work from home guidance, right? I think a lot of us are struggling, right? Hey, how do I juggle work? How do I juggle also different things at home, right? I'm a mom, I'm a father, or, you know, I'm a siblings, I'm a cousins, right? So I have a lot of roles, but when I'm working, I need to make sure that I stay focused, right? So what we have a few points here, right, is basically maybe it's good, right, to set up your own workspace, right? I have a picture here below, right? Set up your own workspace, I think, so that you feel more comfortable and feel at work, right? Stay connected to each other. Again, I think this is very important, right, to make sure that we all stay positive, right? Manage your time and well-being. I know maybe a lot of us, we start our work at 7 a.m. and maybe end at about 10 or 11 at night, right? But the most important thing is that have breaks in between. Make sure that you have your meals, you take some breaks, right? So that we are healthy, right? Then we can be back and stay focused again, right? And how do we manage back-to-back meetings? Now, we all know that there's no more walk down the hallway, no casual conversations between or before meeting starts, right? Usually we will ask, hey, how are you doing before the meeting starts, right? So now we don't have that anymore. So what we have learned, maybe some of the tips that we have here, right, is perhaps to encourage employees, right, or organizer of that meeting to conclude the meetings 5 minutes before, right, before the hours, right, so that people get to, you know, take a quick 5-minute breaks before they start the next meeting, right? And also, I think creating a space for people to disconnect, this is also quite important, right? Offer, I'm not sure some of you, but it's also good, I think, maybe from companies, if you have HR, right? Some of the activities that you can do here is maybe have virtual yoga sessions, virtual meditation session as well, right? Just to take a moment or a pause to unwind from work, right? And I think the next thing that we want to touch on is basically you want to drive a healthy team culture, right? Because today we no longer work alone, right? We need to work in team, right? So building the team culture is very important here, right? Have some celebrations or virtual celebrations, right? Maybe previously you guys come together and have birthday celebrations, coffee or lunch session, but now you know, it doesn't harm, right, to have a celebration virtually, right? So I just had a session with my teammate and my boss as well, right? We did a 5-minute, we did 30 minutes e-lunch, right? So everyone just come on to the call. While having your lunch, you share your experience, share something funny, what you have learned this few days, right? If you have questions, feel free to answer or ask. Right now, not sure how many of you have used Teams, but we also have some fun elements, emoji, GIF that you can use, right? Just to make things fun, right? While you're in the chat, maybe try to make things sounds a bit fun, not too serious, right? Especially during this time, right? I think that's quite critical, right? And if you are a manager out there, I think a manager is a very crucial role nowadays, right? You probably managing a big team, right? Make sure you reinforce the inclusion quality in, right? Check in with your teammates or your staff regularly, right? They might need some help, right? But they are not, they don't dare to reach out to you, right? I think it's good to have a regular check-in with them so that to make sure that they are, you know, healthy, they are okay, they're feeling good, right? And also understand some of their needs, right? So probably different people will have different needs, right? Hence, having a regular check-in would be good. Right? So this is some of the learnings from our colleagues from the Seattle team, right? Now, so a lot of you probably is IT for your company, right? We also have some tips or 9 ways from our Microsoft IT team, right? How do they remotely enabling remote work for employees like us, right? Because we are like a 160,000 users company, right? So for them, it's definitely a challenge. So these are some of the points that they have here, right? Of course, for sure, I think working remotely means, hey, your user identity and access management is very crucial, right? If you're not on fully cloud today, you might have some hybrid or on-prem. How do you quickly set up that, right? And ensure all your employees can access to the system quickly, right? Without any downtime, right? Another one is on multi-factor authentications. Now, this is more on the security piece, right? So what we offered internally from the IT team, right, to us is basically 3 authentication method, right? We depending on our preference or where we are, we have these 3 methods to sign in for MFA, right? And I think also a lot of you out there is practicing BYOD today. So definitely managing devices is very, very important nowadays, right? So for us internally, I think our IT is also struggling. They have some hard time making sure that all the devices are managed, be it Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS or Android. So what we are using here is a co-management approach, right? We have the Microsoft Endpoint Manager, which integrate with Intune and Configuration Manager so that they have a single dashboard to manage all the devices, right? So for all our devices, our BYOD scenario, they are enabling us for the self-service enrollment, right? So productivity applications, I think this one is super crucial for us, right? That's how we collaborate, that's how we work, right? Your Outlook, your Office apps, Teams is a platform for us to collaborate, right? Chat, work together, voice call, video call, right? And we have all our files saved in OneDrive or SharePoint, pretty similar to some of you perhaps, right? Meetings and collaboration, I think we are all using Teams if you don't know, right? Later, Vivian will be walking through with you how she uses Teams from a day-to-day basis, right? And how it helps her nowadays during this lockdown period, right? We also have some line of business today, right, which maybe not fully on cloud yet, right? But what our IT team is offering to us is basically VPN, right? But we are also rolling out Windows Virtual Desktop from our IT team. And a few other things that they are also covering here is service monitoring to make sure that all the service is up all the time. Culture and change management is also very important, right? That's why what they also did, right, was having a work from home Yammer group, right, where they share all the tips and tricks with all of us, right? So we are encouraged to join that group. If you have any questions, we can go ahead and ask in that group, right? And the experts will actually answer our questions, right? And also another thing is because we have different roles in Microsoft as well, so our IT also need to design their support for the specific roles. So mainly developers, call centers, and help desk frontline workers, right? So I think it's also pretty similar to you guys as well. Now, next, just something that we wanted to share, right? How do you stay connected and productive with Teams? So we have seen a spike in Teams usage just the last 7 days. It was previously around 12 million daily users globally, but now we have seen there's a spike to 44 million daily users, right? So I think clearly it shows that people are actually working from home and everyone needs a solution to help them to stay connected and collaborate as a team, right? And we also see that 900 million meetings and calls minute on Teams each day this week. Like, I'm not sure about you guys, but for myself, I think my day will start around 7 a.m., right? I will first start check my email, and then I will open my Teams, and all my work will be done in Teams, right? I'll have calls, back-to-back calls with customers, with partners, with internal folks, right? So that's how we stay connected, right? And just to share some stats with you guys, 93 of the Fortune 100 companies are actually using Microsoft Teams, right? We have about 650 organizations that have more than 10,000 users, right? So you guys could be one of them. We're available in 181 markets, right? Today or currently, if you are using different languages or if you need different languages, we have about 53 languages available, right? So also some good news to share with you. So what happened is Microsoft Teams actually turns 3 this week, and these are some of the updates or new features or cool feature that you can look up for, right? We have some real-time noise suppression, right? I think this one was requested from a lot of customers out there, right? So stay tuned for that. It's coming, right? They are rolling this out, and there's a raise hand feature. So I'm not sure, have you guys experienced a situation before where a few people try to speak at the same time, right? And it's hard to gauge who to speak next. So what we have here is a raise hand feature, right? I have a sample here that you can see on my screen, right? So it's basically a feature, a button or icon that say raise hand, right? So you would then be queued to speak next, right? So we also have a pop-up chat in a separate window, right? I think this feature was available in Skype back then. A lot of customers was asking in Teams. Look out for that, it's coming. We have the booking apps in Teams, B2C virtual appointments, where you can help to schedule, manage, and conduct appointments easily, right? So I think the next one is also very sought after today, offline or low bandwidth support. Right now, or soon, you'll be able to read and write responses even without internet in Teams, right? And we also work with RealWare where they have this head-mounted devices, especially or specifically for first-line workers. Right, so these are some of the updates that I wanted to share with you guys. Right, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to share today. Thank you so much. If you want, you can actually connect with me in LinkedIn. This is my profile, or if you want, you can actually reach out to me via my email as well.
Thanks, Cassandra. It's
Thank you
really
so
our honor to have you as our speaker.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
I certainly agree with you, lah, because for this period of time, let's stay focused and stay strong as well.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
as mentioned just now, I mean, I just want to tell the public as well, just remember to reach out to us. We'll be giving our free license to the public just to help those, be it the IT person or business owner, because this is considered a very tough time. We are basically locked down for the approximately 1 month, so no income. It's really very tough for the business owner. So we, 1Cloudstar or through education and Microsoft, just want to see how much we can actually help the public also. So now we will have a Vivian to go through the short demonstration by using this team. Vivian, I hand over to you.
All right, thank you, Rachel. Let me know if you guys can hear me well.
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I hope that all of you are doing well in this difficult time. I myself has never stepped out of my house for about 1 week plus right now. And my family has been jokingly telling me that, you are now rightfully a good chef because I've been preparing my meals. So probably that's a silver lining between all these, right? Jokes aside, right, just to briefly introduce about my company. So Right Malaysia is actually a cloud channel company. We work very, very closely with partners like 1Cloudstar or True Education. So what we do is we help them to deliver IT and cloud solution to people like you. And we also helps to do the education piece, right? So we believe that by technology itself, right, if there's no education to the market, the cloud technology adoption is actually very, very low. So what I'm going to do today is, right, I'm not going to show you what is the features of Teams, but I'm going to walk you through how I use Teams, Microsoft Teams in my everyday work life. Okay, I'm going to briefly share my desktop right now. Right. Let me see if you can see my desktop. So Rachel, is my desktop showing right now?
You need to share. Yeah, I can see your desktop ready.
All right, awesome. Okay, so what I do every day when I wake up, right? Just like many of you, what you all do is you all open your phone and you all start reading news, right? So for me is when I open my laptop every day in the morning, what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll look at my activities. Okay, so these activities is actually the announcement of what my company is doing right now. For example, my CEO might be announcing that, hey, I know it's tough right now, but your bonus is on your way, those kind of news. So I'm here to clear my news every day, just to see what's happening within my organization itself. Now, you will see my activity here is actually 0 right now. There's no notification or anything because I have this OCD to clear my notification every morning. But it's just like your any other apps. If you have new announcement coming in, new text messages, you will see a little button here with the number of the news that you have not read. Okay, so this is what I do every morning. Now, we use this pretty much across our whole organization. We have operation across different countries, all the Southeast Asia, Korea, Japan, New Zealand, and Australia. So all of us do the same thing. We just come in here and we look at what is happening around the organization. Okay, now after clearing all my news, right, what I do is I'll go to chat. Now I understand that collaboration between the company or inter-department is very, very important. And I also believe that most of us here, right, we use WhatsApp on everyday basis. But one thing to note is that apart from WhatsApp, right, usually what I do is I communicate to people outside of my organization and across different countries as well. So if I come to chat and I wanted to talk to somebody, right, like for example, this morning, I'm asking my backend operation, Gay. Gay is actually working right out of Thailand. She is handling all the PO processes, purchase orders processes. So usually I'll come here and I say, hey, Gay, how are you doing this morning? Just checking in on her and telling her that, hey, I need your help to issue this purchase PO, for example. And this is how I use chat in Microsoft Teams to basically talk with all my other colleagues from other countries. Okay, now apart from doing individual chats, you can also do team chats, right? For example, here, if you can see, I have multiple people from different countries, right, and different departments inside this chat itself. For those of you who don't know, besides doing chat, right, you can do phone calls, Okay, you can also do video calls. And sometimes we also do like online meetings, and during the online meetings, we record the session itself. Now, every time the meeting ended, there's a recorded session being published there. So for you guys who do training or you want to record certain meeting sessions, right, you can use the same function within Teams itself. Okay. Sometimes when we do recording, it might be multiple recordings within the same Teams itself. What I do is I don't scroll one by one to go and check where the recordings are, right? You can see this is the second recording here. What I'll do is I'll just right click here and I'll open in Microsoft Stream. So Microsoft Stream might be something new to you, but what it does is actually it records all the recording session that you do in Teams, right? Let me just pause this video. Okay, so you can see on the right hand side here, there's a lot of recordings that I have within all the meetings itself. So instead of coming here and scroll down one by one to look at where the recordings are, I'll just right click here and look it under my Microsoft Stream library. Okay. All right, so this is about chat, what I do with inter-teams and inter-departments. Now, the most important feature in Teams, right, that I'll use very, very heavily is I create different channel or different teams. All right, so it's the same for you guys. If you have different departments, you can have one team each for each department. Or if you do a lot of projects, right, every single project can be a Teams. Now, how this is different from chat is that if I'm in the Teams, right, for example, we do a lot of licensing, right? So in the licensing team, I can basically see who are the members inside and I can invite people. So if you click here and you look at manage team, right, I can see who are the members inside. Now, if I am the owner who created this team, right, I can basically invite more members inside. It can be somebody from your organization. Okay, you can see here they are from different locations, or it can be somebody outside of your organization. So if you have customers or suppliers, right, who are also using Teams, they might not be the same company as you, but you guys can still chat, you can still do video calls or share files across each other. One very good example, right, is we have a weekly meeting with Microsoft directly. So what I do here is I'm going to show you how do we add the external member. If I click add member here, right, I can just specify the email address of that person and I just click add, they will be added. Okay, so how you differentiate is if you come to here and you can see that all these are actually members, which means they are from my same company. The guest is actually outside of my company. Okay, so you can see like Helena, you can see Theo, you can see Letitia, all these are actually from Microsoft. So why is this important? We have our weekly meeting right now, instead of an in-person meeting, it became like a Teams meeting. And whatever that we discussed previously during that meeting itself is actually inside here, right? So all the chats are inside here. And we also share files across Microsoft and Write itself. So like for example, right, so we share our pipeline files here with Microsoft directly. What we do is you can see that who is the last person who modified the file. It can be somebody from Microsoft, it can be somebody from my own company itself, right? And this is very, very powerful because, you know, there's a lot of times where customers telling me that, you know, they keep their files in file server, but suddenly somebody deleted the files and they don't know who deleted it and they can't find back the old copy of it because they don't do a proper backup, right? So if I come here and I can see that 2 hours ago, Madhi Ravi actually edited this file. And I realized that I want to see the versions before that. Okay, so what I do is I just right click here and I'll open in SharePoint. You might have heard of what SharePoint is, but don't worry about this because Teams is actually integrated very well with SharePoint, right? You don't have to create a separate SharePoint file. Okay, just put everything in Teams and it will come out here. Okay, so this was the file that I shared just now, and I can see who has access to it. And if let's say I want to revert to the previous version, I can look at version history. Okay, so you can see that from the version history itself, who edited it, what is the time and date they edited it. Okay, and if let's say I want to revert to this version, I can just click on this and I can view or I can restore this version. right? So if you notice, I actually have a lot of files or I have a lot of recordings, right? Although they are stored in different places like Stream and SharePoint, but I'm actually doing everything within Teams itself. So this is what I like about Teams. Okay. All right, so we covered what we do. I wake up and check my activities. I check my chat in case my colleagues is reaching out to me. And I go to Teams just to see if, let's say, there's new files that I've not opened. That's why it's in bold right now. All right. And another feature is like what we're doing right now. We're on a video call, right? So one thing I like about Microsoft solution is that it's always integrated with all the other applications that Microsoft have. If today I were to go to my calendar, all right, if I were to schedule a new Teams meeting here, okay, what it does is it will create a Teams meeting here, all right, and then it will also create another link here. It's actually the same link, but instead of going to my Outlook and look at the calendar, right, I can still come here and look at the calendar. And if I want to join any meeting right here, I'll just click here and join. Then it will launch the meeting app right in this dashboard itself. Okay. Now, of course, if you have very heavy calls, certain people will have very heavy calls with a few of their colleagues, right? What you can do is you can also add speed dial here, right? These are the heavily people that I always work with every day. So usually I'll just add a speed dial here. So it's easier for me to call them. Another way to do it, instead of adding a speed dial here, I can go to chat as well. So say casually I ask Gabe for some help. And she says that, hey, Viv, instead of texting me, can you just give me a call? So what I'll do is I just click this call button. And if she said that, okay, I want to do a video call instead, I'll just click this. So what I just did right now, right, I'm actually sharing my screen with you. So you can do the same. Within the chat itself, you can share your screen if you want. And I use this very, very heavily when I need to support my partners or my customer. If I need to do a remote session in, right, I'll just share my screen here. Okay, now I'm going to end this very, very quickly. So the last one here, files, right, is actually, we save a lot of files within chat itself, we share within the chat, we share within the teams, right? Instead of going in and look for one by one of the files, just like what I did for the video recordings, I'll just come to files here and I can see all the recent files that I'm working at, all right? And if you are lazy to scroll through one by one again, if you know what's the title of the file, or any keyword that you have in the file, right, you can just search here and type. Then your files will come up. There might be some other customers who is using different type of cloud storage, right? So if you have that, you can also add your cloud storage here. Okay. Now the last thing that I want to share with you guys, if you go to Teams, right? Let's say you have other plugins. For example, if you use like Evernote to do notes, right? You can actually click a little pop-up here. All right, and add a tab. If you are using Planner, for example, you can put Planner here, so it will become a tab. Okay, if you use any other third-party solution, if I scroll down, some of this might be familiar to you. You can actually add this into your Teams as well. Okay, yeah, so that's about it. So another thing, right, before I log off, right, another thing that I want to show you guys is that if let's say somebody posted something in your Teams chat, all right, you can look at the post. Okay, if I want to do a polling, I can basically do a polling actually, right? So for example, if you want to do like you want to know what your colleague think about this COVID thing, and you want to do a polling for the whole company, you can actually do it within here itself. It actually creates a form for you, right? Yeah, so this sums up what I do on my everyday life. If I open up Teams, this is what I do. So I think I'll move it back to Rachel.
Yes.
If they have any questions.
We also reply in the live event Q&A as well, because actually we do have few people actually asking for some of the features, and I also agree with you because actually right now, right, what I'm doing on the daily basis with my team is also using Microsoft Teams to do the online meetings.
Okay.
And then that we sometimes we even joke and making fun of each other, says that okay, now after the workstation is the kitchen time. I keep cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's true actually. But you know what I like about Teams is that so what my company does, right? Every single morning at 9 o'clock, we have an internal meeting. So some of you might think that this is a micromanaging thing, right? But likely, like what Cassandra has shared just now, right? It's very good to reach out and connect with your colleagues. So every morning during that call, right? What we do is we check on each other and we're asking things like, okay, what have you done yesterday? Do you have anything that you need help on? And today, anything that you want to focus on? Can we make it better for you? Those kind of things. So
I don't think it's a micromanager, because actually I can tell you, for me, it's even a week itself, I'm about to go crazy already. We just need to talk it out. We just need to say it. We need to connect. We are human beings. We need to connect to each other. And then at least that I can tell you, some of our team members, right, they will also feel demoralized, and then they also may worry what's next, you know. So if we're able to have this kind of daily meeting with the whole members, the colleagues, or the team, right, it's actually good. Let's talk it out and share with them. And then some actually we even have a personal level touch also. I mean, talk to each other and then just say, let's stay strong, let's stay connect, and then we'll be great, all this kind of thing. So with these Microsoft Teams, right, it really does help.
Yeah, I agree. And probably a lot will think that, okay, this is something new to them, or something new to you guys here, right? So if you think that you wanted more, you want us to help you to adopt this technology, you want us to show you what else can you do within the company itself, right? Just reach out to us, and maybe you can schedule a different session for you specifically.
And because for us, 1Cloudstar, we also giving out the license for the public lah, because for them to actually buy, it also takes some cost, and then we just want to take this opportunity to just give back to the society also. I hand over to Z to do the closing, and then we will be all for today's. Z?
Right. Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you very much, Vivian. That was a very, very good session. So we really hope that this particular session today gives you further insight on Microsoft Teams especially, and then how we can actually stay efficient and productive, you know, during this challenging time of MCO. Okay, and then also how 1Cloudstar and True Education can further support you. Reach out to us to get your vouchers, and we have a lot of free passes, complimentary passes for events. We conduct monthly events and on different topics and all this. So reach out to us. Stay safe, stay at home. We will have this similar session again, maybe in about 2 weeks' time, Rachel?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So thank you very much for staying with us. And then the video of the whole session will be actually sent out to you through email. Okay. Do look out for it, and let's stay in touch. Thank you very much. And
Thanks.
yeah, and thank you very much also for to the team Microsoft, Cassandra, and then Helena, Letitia, Theo for making this possible. Also, Ripe, Lee, and Vivian, thank you very much. And also 1Cloudstar and also the whole True Education team. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Z. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Right.